Hey everyone, hope you can hear me. Marcos, I already sent you the request to join. So let's start the community call today. Federico will not be participating of the call because he is attending some events in Bogota, Colombia. Some legal tech events. Let me see if I can get the name of the events. And well, this week, how are you doing?
Very well, very well.
Fine. Yeah, talking about the events that Federico is attending, let me check the schedule that we have. Yes, today it's a talk at a university called Externado in Bogota, and they are doing kind of a um, entire day about innovations in legal tech and with practitioners and academics. And Federico was invited to talk a little bit about Kleros. We have an active community in Colombia that is interested in Kleros, and some Marcos, you have been talking with them with some possible pilots, right? Some insurance pilots that might start in Colombia. So this is a pretty nice event to attend now that we have uh, developments in with Kleros Enterprise, the cases that we are solving for the crypto exchange in Argentina. Certainly, Federico will talk about it when when in his panel. So this is one of the events that Federico will attend in Bogota. There are another one coming in 2 days, the Blockchain Summit, which is one of the longest running events related to blockchain in Latin America. And it's also an event focused on blockchain enterprises and business adopting blockchain more corporate, let's say, that events like UTC that have protocols and builders. So it's also it will be a good opportunity to showcase Kleros. Apart from that, I think there's also an event in Costa Rica that Federico is participating on. He will be giving a talk on how to create Web3 businesses and also introduce Kleros to the audience. Don't have the name of the event here, but it's also I'll share in the chats. And well, some of the other things that are going on. Last Friday, Juan presented. Juan he is our treasury manager, or the treasury manager of the Kleros cooperative. He presented some strategies that he uses for yield trading on DeFi. And I've talked a little bit about crecimiento on the other talks, the other community calls, but I'll mention it again. It's a conference that lasts for 1 month here in Buenos Aires, and there's a co-working space that people can use that protocols, companies related to blockchain can use. There will be a hackathon. There's lots of networking opportunities, and I believe could not attend it yet. But Marcos, you've been there last week, right?
No, I was not there in Crecimiento, but yeah, Juan was there.
Yeah.
I was not able to go for the one.
Yeah, so I see I will be attending this week, and I see some like very interesting talks, and I know Juan is doing also a good job about getting leads, because we already had some conversations that started from Crecimiento, and um, we will have probably a day dedicated to decentralized justice, or the intersection between justice and blockchain, and it will also be interesting to connect with possible partners, and also to showcase the partners that we already have and are using us or are in talks of using Kleros. So this will be announcing in the coming days, because we already are in the middle of the month. Apart from that, tomorrow the Ethereum Uruguay starts. Ethereum Uruguay hackathon starts, and we also will be attending and helping the teams that applied to their hackathon. Juan recorded a video about some use cases, some Kleros use cases, and it's to be very instructive for teams that can leverage curation or the escrow, or even the Kleros Enterprise implementation on their applications. They might get interested because of this participation. I'll also be mentoring some of the teams with with communication and marketing. And where else? I think, well, next week we have participation on a university called Austral. Maybe Marcos, you could talk a little bit more about it, because it's your alma mater, right?
Yeah, well, the Australian University is the university where I studied. And yes, we are going for the second or third time to this event. Actually, I'm not going because I'm not going to be in Argentina next week. But yes, we are going to have a stand, and we are going to be presenting Kleros and Kleros Enterprise with the Lemon guys. I think it's going Facundo, Juan, and I don't remember if Eugene, you're going to this event.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, it's a good event. But again, we were there last year. It's always good to be there, representing Kleros. And about Uruguay, now that you mention it, this week we have been working a lot with the guys from Hestia. Hestia is a Web3 project, a P2P marketplace from Maldonado, Uruguay. And what the idea is that they are going to resolve their disputes with Kleros. Yeah, this week we have been working in the dispute policy, mostly Facundo, and then we have been working with another parts of the process, as for example the forms that the user have to complete. Well, I have been working with that with Dario. So yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty good. It's kind of a TaskRabbit on Web3, and they have taught a little bit on like have taught a lot about how to use Web3 and how that can facilitate uh, the payments and the experience. And of course, using Kleros also makes it easy to onboard new people, since there's a guarantee that the service will be delivered, or that they will be compensated if there's an issue, or well, it creates more security for users, and also for service providers. Cool. So, okay, I think that's it for LATAM events in the coming days. Probably there will be more, because we get lots of requests now that it got easier to explain what Kleros does, and how it is being used. So one thing that I would like to mention before giving William his space to talk is the launch of the ATQ Registry Incentive Program. The ATQ Registry is a registry that basically uses JavaScript queries to query the blockchain and get tags to kind of put names or classifications to addresses. And these data can be used by blockchain explorers like Etherscan and all the block explorers that are based on Etherscan, for example, GnosiScan, PolygonScan, BaseScan. And it's to make it simple, it's basically a way of getting lots of tag names or tags on a single submissions on a single submission. Usually we have one submission for per each address, but this method allows people to create these queries that classify lots of different addresses with a single submission. And well, the incentive program, it's basically a reward for people that make their entry, well, that successfully register an entry on this registry. It's $200 per in PNK tokens per entry, and only the first 10 submissions are eligible to receive this reward. And since there's a deposit involved, because whenever you make a submission, you have to put a deposit, and there's some risk. We also want to motivate people to make these submissions. So we will compensate 5 submissions that have issues if they are related to the policy that we have put in place right now, and at our own discretion to prevent abuse. But if you are willing to try it out, there's this additional assurance that if there's a mistake related to the policy, then you can get your deposit back. And what will happen is that this there will probably be some cases in the JavaScript development court that is live on Gnosis chain. So I recommend people that know JavaScript and understand this query process to either make their submissions, review the submissions that we have, or at least stake. Sorry, Marcos, there's a bit of noise. So, sorry. Yeah, so you can stake on the JavaScript development court, and there's a high chance of receiving cases because there's not many people right now staked in this court. And the reward for each coherent vote, I think it's 30 DAI or so. So it's I think a reasonable payment. But let me add William. Cool. So yeah, I recommend checking the details of this program. I'll pin the details are pinned on our Telegram group, but also on our Twitter page. And you can also reach out to the team if you have questions, because we have been helping some people that are interested in submit. I think that we already had 4 submissions, and there will probably be more in the maybe today or in the coming days. So it's better to look at it sooner rather than later. Otherwise, the 10 submissions reward will be gone soon. So yeah. So William, what can you share with us today?
Thanks. So similar, research updates. Like continuing in the direction of stuff I've discussed before. So I've been continuing to work on this sort of soulbound token weighting mechanism stuff that I presented in my recent talk at ECC. This is this idea that if you use social information about jurors, if you draw people, sort of give them extra weight if they have special credentials, and you try to intentionally draw a jury that has diverse credentials. So if you look at my talk from a few weeks ago, I sort of end on these sort of interesting mathematical questions around essentially when people have different soulbound tokens, you're sort of grouping them based on what soulbound tokens they have. And you can use a clustering algorithm for that. It sort of leans into AI, machine learning kind of tools. And then the question is how do you design a machine learning tool? What clustering algorithm is good that will sort of break people down by what soulbound tokens are relevant, but at the same time not be manipulable by attackers, not have data poisoning. If an attacker can get too much access to the inputs into an AI algorithm, they're not necessarily designed to have that level of attack security. So I've been thinking about how slight differences in the clustering algorithm you use have slightly different attack profiles. And I've been, at the moment I have technical notes on this, which you might at some point sort of see appear on our GitHub sort of research documents. But eventually there'll be a blog article where I have continue to talk about these themes and sort of break it down, hopefully for an accessible audience. Other than that, as we announced last week, we have this. We're funding a PhD student at Oxford that will be recruited over the course of this coming fall to eventually work in the Oxford Computer Science Department. So we're thinking about how to recruit a good student for that, where to sort of send recruiting materials and try to how to present what we see as a good research project in a way that's going to attract the attention of good students. So if you know anyone who's an upcoming sort of theoretical computer scientist who's interested in economic mechanisms and happens to be British or sort of a British resident, direct them to us. One thing that I'm probably going to do to try to sort of extend our reach, sort of trying to interest people in our research, is to give an overview talk of all of research that we do at Kleros. I've given talks like that in the past, but I haven't given a sort of big general overview recently. So at some point you can expect that talk to sort of appear on YouTube, which is partially aimed at trying to excite people about our research that would be potential researchers, but will also be free to everyone. So if you're interested in sort of updating our research, you'll see that then. Our existing PhD student, or one of our existing PhD students at Paris 2, recently did some economics experiments. So our research team is sort of grinding through the data of that and thinking about how that sort of ideally confirms the research we've already done on voting and incentive systems and attack resistance, but uses proper behavioral economic data from real human participants. So we'll see if how that lines up with sort of the theory we had, and then potentially depending on how the data analysis goes, this can inspire additional voting modules that will be compatible with Kleros 2.0.
That's nice. I'm pretty excited to see the uh, to, to see the candidates that we will get. I think it's certainly not common to stumble into these people unless you're part of the academy. So, uh, but we really appreciate if you know someone or know some department that have lots of people that might be candidates, and you can share with them, or even if you can share on LinkedIn, because that's probably the best way to get to these people. Um, that's also helpful to us. I don't know, William. Do you know about some de- um, let's say some academic department or some university that you think is more likely to have candidates for this?
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, like this person will be in a computer science department, so like first and foremost they should probably be a computer scientist, although it's very multidisciplinary, like kind of you want to someone who's familiar with the economic mechanisms, and ideally maybe has sort of a mathematical bend, because like at least a lot of the problems we've thought of, I'm a mathematician, sort of come from that, although like the eventual student can imprint their own mark, so maybe if they're less of a mathematician, that could work too. But like I know places that have people with that profile, but like one constraint here is that this person, in order to qualify for the grant conditions, needs to qualify for home status for British fees in British universities. So I don't have the deepest roots in the UK, so I don't necessarily know a lot of people in departments that meet that criterion. Like obviously the professor that we're going to work with, I mean, he's based at Oxford, so he knows people like that, so he may be able to just find a student by himself. But we'll do all that we can to like sort of expand the field. So if you have ties in the British sort of computer science research community, like direct them to us.
Awesome. Perfect. Marcos, I don't know if you have any updates to share with us. What if I muted you before? Let me know if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for muting me when there was some noise. I don't know what was the reason. But yes, we have some updates from the BD team. Well, besides Hestia, that I already mentioned, the P2P protocol that we use Kleros for dispute resolution. We have some updates from Lemon. A lot of cases were created during during the last week. What it's a good news for us. And then besides that, we have been in touch with a lot of companies, very important companies from Argentina and South America, Mexico too. Mostly, two centralized exchanges with two insurance companies. Those are, I think, the most important industries where we were focusing. But it was a week with a lot of movement. With Federico, we have been working a lot in different decks to present to different companies. So yeah, working a lot. Maybe if Federico would be here, he would be talking a lot about this, I'm sure. But yeah, a lot of these companies that we were in touch with this week are important companies. So I think it's something good. Of course, again, it's just these were just first calls, and well, some might end in new integrations, and other ones no. But it's a good way to start. I think everything what Lemon integration is bringing, it's good. So yeah, working a lot with that. And yeah, I think that was were the main things where we were working this week with these calls and the decks that we provided to these leads.
Great.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had another thing. We had a call last week with Derecho en Zapatillas. The idea is to do something together. We still didn't announce it, but well, something will come. Most probably, we are going to do something with them.
Yeah, just some background. Derecho en Zapatillas is an account that is very famous here in Argentina that basically explains legal matters in simple terms, makes it easy for people to understand what's going on in laws. He's a communicator influencer on legal matters, and he recorded a podcast with Federico. I don't know if it's out yet, but they talk about the Kleros enterprise, and he was pretty excited about it, and this thing that this collaboration might have to do with Registry, but we are still in talks with that. I don't even know if we could have shared it, but hopefully our Spanish-speaking community only listens to our Spanish-speaking community call. Maybe they won't know. Okay, so I think that's it for me. There's one more thing that I'll be posting today. It's the project update for the last year. It's a report that is created every year by the Kleros cooperative. It will be posted on our blog, and we also post it on Twitter. And you will see how long is the report, which indicates how many activities that we have been doing the last year. It's really impressive to see the amount of stuff going on. And of course, some things do not result immediately in new cases or new integrations, but it, well, you will read it, and you will see that looks the things are going well. So I think that's all for me today. I don't know if there's any questions in the group. I don't see any. So let's close it for now and see you in the groups. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you later.
Everybody.